We saw in our previous video that in the process of dissolution of partnership firm, the business of the firm is closed down, the books of accounts are also closed, and the assets are sold and the liabilities paid off. Now let us discuss in detail how the settlement of accounts happens at the time of dissolution of a partnership firm. In the event of dissolution of a partnership firm, the firm has to settle its accounts since it ceases to conduct any business activities. In such a scenario, the firm disposes all its assets to satisfy the claims against it. However, such settlement of accounts cannot be done in a haphazard manner or as per the whims and fancies of the partners. We know that partnerships and partnership firms are governed by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So, even in the process of settlement of accounts, the firm has to follow set rules and procedures as prescribed in the section 48 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So, what are these rules laid down as per section 48 in the Indian Partnership Act? Let's see. The section 48 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 first lays down rules regarding the treatment of losses. In this regard, the Act states that any losses, including any deficiencies in capitals, will be paid firstly out of the profits, secondly out of the partners' capitals, and lastly, if necessary, by the partners individually in their profit sharing ratio. This means at the time of winding up, the losses and deficiencies of capital have to be settled. So, how should the firm settle it? First and foremost, the firm should use whatever profits it has available in its books and adjust the same against such losses. Even after applying the profits, if there still exists losses, then the capitals of the partners should be adjusted towards such losses. After adjusting the profits as well as capitals, if some losses still exist, then the partners should contribute towards such losses in their profit sharing ratio. After treatment of losses, next the section deals with the procedure for application of assets. This section deals with the assets of the firm as well as the sums brought in by the partners to apply towards the deficiencies in the capital as we just saw. The section states that the assets will be used first and foremost towards the payment of all the debts that the firm has raised from third parties. That is, firstly, all the outside debts should be settled using the assets available with the firm. Once the third party debts are settled, then the surplus assets are used to pay the advances made by partners to the firm. The amounts included in this are the amounts due from the firm to the partners other than the capital contribution of the partners. These are either paid fully if the assets cover such amounts or proportionately paid to the partners in accordance with whatever is due to them from the firm other than capital. Once all the debts are cleared, then the assets are utilized to pay the amount due to each partner on account of their capital. If the value of assets is not enough to cover the amount of capital, then each partner is paid proportionately on the basis of the amount due to him from the firm on account of capital. Once the firm settles all the debts and capitals, if at all any residue is left over, then such residue is divided amongst the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So, this is the manner in which Section 48 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 mandates the treatment of losses and application of assets. We saw that the amount realized from assets should be utilized towards the payment of liabilities. However, the liabilities are not disposed in a haphazard manner. There is a manner and order for the payment of liabilities. First and foremost, the assets are utilized to pay off the outside liabilities of the firm. This means that, firstly, all the liabilities which are due to the third parties should be settled. These include parties like creditors, loans, bank overdraft, bills payables, and so on. Even while paying off the outside liabilities, first the third party secured loans have to be paid off, and then the third party unsecured loans have to be paid. Once all the third party secured and unsecured loans are settled, then next the loans made by the partners to the firm has to be settled. If the amount left after paying off the outside liabilities is not enough to completely pay off all the advances by the partners of the firm, then the partners' advances are paid off proportionately. Once the outside liabilities and the partners' advances are paid off, if any surplus is still left, then it is utilized for the settlement of the partners' capital account balances after adjustments for all profits and losses. In a situation where there exists both the firm's debts as well as the partner's debts, then the Section 49 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 has set rules to be followed while paying off such debts. As far as the debts of the firm are concerned, the property of the firm shall be first utilized to pay off the debts of the firm. After the payment of the firm's debts, if there is any surplus left, then such surplus is divided amongst the partners in accordance with their claims, which they can then utilize for the payment of their private liabilities. Now, in the first chapter on partnership accounts, we saw that a partner's liability is several. That means, while paying the firm's debts, a partner's private property can also be used. But what is the manner in which the partner's private property has to be used? The private property of a partner is first utilized in payment of his private debts. Any surplus left in the partner's property after his private debts are paid is utilized in paying off the firm's debts if the firm's liabilities exceed the firm's assets. While the rule states about a partner's private property, we should first understand what all is included in the private property of a partner. The private property of a partner includes only the partner's personal property and does not include the personal properties of partner's spouse and children. So, in a case where the firm's assets are not adequate to pay off the firm's liabilities, then the partners contribute out of their net private assets only, which is their own private assets minus private liabilities. This is the manner in which firm's debts and partners' debts have to be paid off.